the chaos reign.
Chaos Reign presents is title for Be a Scam with special guest Sankofa broadcast May the 1st, 2022. Enjoy.
The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
In a world where there's crime, corruption, violence, murder, rape, theft, and all forms of atrocity that plague the world in which we live in today, what you're witnessing, we are living in a state of chaos, and it will take a greater, more extreme chaos to restore the order in which the world we live in today. Welcome, black people. Let me do a sound test for a second to make sure everything is going well. Okay, it looks like my sound is working pretty well. So, welcome again to another stream here on the Chaos Rain channel. As you know, I go by the name Chaos Rain here. And today, we're going to go into the continuation of another interesting delve into I called the rabbit hole. As you know, thank you, Mr. T.R.S. Thompson, for expanding it. And before I give you the title for today's stream, go to talkrealsolutions.com. There you see a 3-point plan for Black Power, Black Achievement. And in the website, you see a list of Black established banks located here in the United States of America. I think there's like 30 banks still, maybe. So, I think that's what's all on the website. And also, as you're checking the website, make sure you donate to TRS. I mean, as you know, Chaos Rain on the TRS side platform of the Chaos Rain show is pretty lit, in my opinion. But, you know, I can't be a critic to my own live streams. But, you know, like I said, I do the best I can. But anyway, check the website for yourself. And also got the latest articles as well. Also, go to Facebook and subscribe or like the page on Facebook of Talk Real Solutions as well. And there, you know, there's a private chat room if you like enjoying the page. It's kind of fun. We get fun down DMs in the chat room side of TRS. So if you want to know, like the page on Facebook. And also, Talk Real Solutions is airing on YouTube as well. This part of the broadcast is also streaming on TRS as well, like other broadcasts, including ABC, Sarge, and maybe another person that will be soon introduction to doing content here on the Talk Real Solutions side of YouTube. And that's all the information laid out. And like I said, I also, Chaos Rain, has a YouTube channel as well. Please subscribe to Chaos Rain on YouTube as well. And also got Twitter and Facebook. Twitter at Chaos Rain 7 and Facebook Eric Rain on Facebook. Those are links to follow me and also hit me up for shows or whatever. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's begin the show, everybody. As I think I see, I have my guest again, return again. Today's stream is titled Chaos Rain Presents. Is titled for D, with the letter D, a scam. With special guest, the one and only, the return of Sankofa Johnson. Sankofa, you there?
Peace and Black African power. Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, bro.
How you doing, Gary, man? You are a great host, and I appreciate you for introducing me, and I appreciate you for helping out the family of TRS. Shout out to T.R.S. Thompson, the god of the TRS family. We bring in real solutions, and we bring in real issues to the topic. This is things that we need to talk about as Black people in order for us to grow as a melanated race. Because a lot of people will keep us down and not allow us to elevate as people. So that's why I'm bringing you some information that a lot of people don't understand. And a lot of women or people will have an issue. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Now I see the waveform. I found it. Okay. If you're listening on the chat room, I should be clear now. So you should hear me now on my end. So let's go into the meat of things, Sankofa. But before we go into what is this thing we call Title 4D? What really is it? Is history and all other necessities.
Okay, so if anybody knows, Title 4D was created in 1975. Actually, it was created before that, but I'm going to deal with the 1975 where it was implemented to support the TANF. You got TANF, you got other people in the state, and so but it was really to support needy families. Okay, so Title 4D was implemented into the Social Security Act in order to support needy families. Now, 1984 came across. And then you got 1996 that came across. These were the same people, same presidents, saying that, oh, we're going to suspend license, we're going to in-jail people, we're going to make their credit bad, blah, blah, blah. Not knowing that Title 4D is in the executive branch. It's under Title 42-666. And I'll repeat, because somebody claimed that I was a fast talker, and she know who I'm talking about. I'm going to repeat myself again. Child support, Title 4D, is under Title 42, USC 666. It's a single and separate unit housed in the executive branch of government. So she apparently, she knows who I'm talking about. She's a part of TRS. And I know, Gary, this is what we do on TRS. We're gonna call some people out, and they know who they're talking about. And I wouldn't be surprised if she's ringing right now. But anyway, we're dealing with Title 42. We're dealing with child support. Child support can easily be defeated in the courts of law because we understand that Title 4D is not a part of the law system. It was never enacted into positive law. It's in the executive branch. Now, the only way the cases can be brought up against you if there is a corpus delicti. I repeat, a corpus delicti. I hope she's hearing this. I'm repeating myself since I'm such a fast talker. Okay? She know who I'm talking about, and she's probably going to jump in and be like, oh, motherfucker, you talking shit. Okay, jump your ass in. But anyway, Title 4D is housed in the executive branch of government. Now, you have what we call a separation of powers doctrine. Nobody from one branch of government can exercise powers in another. Okay? Mm-hmm. Child support, Title 4D, is not a part of the court system. I'm going to say it slowly again for her to hear. I know she's on here. Title 4D is not a part of the court system. Title 4D is housed in the executive branch of government. It's a single and separate unit under 45 CFR 302.34. If you didn't get that, I will repeat it again. Child support is 45 Code of Federal Regulations 302.34, if you didn't get that, okay? So let's look at why child support is unconstitutional. The 11th Circuit Court ruled, and the Supreme Court has ruled, child support is unconstitutional because it violates separation of powers. And I'm sure that my boy Sarge, you know I love you. We both were cops before. I used to be a former cop. Now I'm conscious, and I would not. And I'm for my people. Okay, so I don't know about Sarge, but Sarge my nigga. I love Sarge, and I know he's gonna jump on here and start yelling at me. But Sarge, you already know I'm telling the truth. This is why I brought up Sarge. And I know I'm gonna kind of going off track a little bit. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Can everybody hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you good.
Good. Okay. When Sarge, I don't know if Sarge ever did this, but I have done this before. And when I looked at an arrest warrant for Title 4D, do you know that in the state of Texas that you cannot arrest anybody under Title 15 of the Texas Penal Code if the state of Texas is in all capital letters? They said under Article 1.23 that the state of Texas, the dignity of the state, is under upper and lowercase letters. Wow, that's very interesting. So if somebody has a warrant for your arrest because you didn't show up to Title 4D court, which you don't have to because it's just called a summons, it's an offer, it's a business meeting, right? Unless you're on a Title 4D contract, if you don't have a contract with Title 4D, you don't have to show up. You don't have to show up to child support court because you're not on the contract. Now, however, if you're under contract, I will recommend you go. but I will recommend you also understand what Title 4D is. You can beat them on their own grounds, okay? So everything is under the Uniform Commercial Code. That's called the UCC. If you ever heard of terminology called UCC, that's called the Uniform Commercial Code, okay? All right, let's move on. Title 4D, child support or whatever. Child support is called child support because it's on a state level, okay? But let me ask you a question, okay? This is going out to Sarge, and I'm pretty Sarge is probably listening in his rocking chair, drinking his Irish coffee. Sarge, tell me, how can anybody violate the Constitution without violating separation of powers when they're under oath, okay? Because there's no such thing as a child support judge. Child support is not a part of the court system. Child support, Title 4D is a part of the executive branch, which is not a part of the court system. So tell me, Sarge, how can anybody cross over and not violate the separation of powers doctrine when it clearly says, and I know, Sarge, me and you cool, you're going to say, well, Sankofa, they cannot violate separation of powers because child support is not part of the judicial branch of government. You got three branches of government. People for that don't know. If y'all didn't take 8th grade civics, child support, executive branch, court system, judicial branch, Congress, legislative branch of government, okay? It's called checks and balances. Nobody can operate from one branch of government and also have power in the other, right? It's called checks and balance, okay? All right, so let's get into Title 4D. I know I'm on a little rant, right? I just got my cases thrown out, both Title 4D cases thrown out because the judges cannot prove jurisdiction, which is called standing. If anybody does not understand what jurisdiction is, everybody thinks jurisdiction has something to do with, your territory or where you live at. That's not jurisdiction. Jurisdiction under Federal Rule 12.1b, and I repeat for the lady that says I'm a fast talker, and she knows who I'm talking about, that's on T.R.S. Federal Rule 12.1b. It talks about subject matter jurisdiction. If the court does not have subject matter jurisdiction, the court cannot proceed in the case. Okay, so when it comes to Title 4D, I ask the judge, what delegates your authority to hold a Title 4D hearing? Now, if you're under penalty of perjury and if you're on your oath of office, remember, a judge that swears an oath to a constitution, the Constitution, right? Constitution is basically common law, not admiralty law, right? So if a judge says, I'm under oath, and I say, Judge, what delegates your authority to hear a Title 4D case? They cannot lie and say, the Title 4 child support is bringing a case against you, a lawsuit against you. I said, okay, under what lawsuit are they bringing me under? Are they bringing me under a state case or an individual case? The judge said, well, we're not here to talk about that. I said, yes, we are. We are here to talk about why am I here in the Title 4D court. If you decide to go to court, I recommend nobody goes to a Title 4D hearing because it's an offer, okay? Unless you're on a Title 4D contract, you should not go, okay? And I'm going to give you some facts and evidence, okay? I'm sure my boy Gary, I sent him some stuff to put up on. If you're on YouTube watching, look at my information that I posted that Gary's probably presenting, okay? So you can ask the judge, hey, Judge, is this a Title 4D hearing? Yes, it is. He cannot lie. He or she cannot lie. Okay, so is this a Title 4D hearing on a 42 U.S.C. 666? The judge, on oath, a judge cannot lie and say, yes, this is a Title 4D hearing on a 42 U.S.C., which, if anybody don't know what USC stands for, it stands for United States Codes, okay? So, like I established first, the executive branch deals with the federal government, right? Child support is a single and separate unit housing the executive branch of government. I repeat, Child support, Title 4D, is a part of the Social Security Act, and it's housed in the executive branch, okay? Follow me. Follow me, people. Okay. So, you ask the judge, are you a 45 CFR 75.2 contractor under penalty of perjury? Penalty of perjury is basically just saying that I'm not going to tell a lie. If anybody wants to know what that means, I can go into detail about the penalty of perjury, blah, blah, blah. Sarge already knows, and I already know Sarge is in the office. Sarge, you know I love you, man. You're like a grandfather to me, but you already know what I'm talking about. So any judge that's under the penalty of perjury, and Sarge, you was a cop, I was a cop, we was all under the penalty of perjury. We cannot lie, right? For motherfuckers that don't know their rights, I'm going to teach you your rights tonight, okay? So you ask the judge, so if you're in court, you be like, hey, judge, is this a hearing under 42 U.S.C. 666? Now the judge might play with you and say, what is that? Oh, well, child support is under that title, under Title 42, which has never been enacted into positive law, according to the legislative branch of government. Okay. He's like, okay, so yeah, this is a child support hearing. Okay, so judge, are you a judge? And the judge might say yes or no. If the judge says yes, okay, so are you a 45 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, 75.2 contractor? Now, this is where you get them at. I'm teaching y'all what judges will do when you ask these type of questions. If a judge says no, basically, when the judge says no, that means he's de facto. He's not a part of the child support is not paying him to hear this case. Okay? Let me end this phone call. Okay, so that person's gonna have to text me. So if the judge is saying I'm not a part of 45 CFR 75.2, which is called a Title 4D contractor. Look that up. If y'all need me to repeat it, I'm going to repeat it one more time. That is 45 CFR 75.2 contractor. Okay? Okay. So the judge says, no, I'm not a 45 CFR 75.2 contractor. Okay, so that means you're de facto. You're separate from. Hold on one second. Hey, Gary, go to commercial. Hold on one second, y'all.
You're good. Keep going. You get me? Is my volume good? Oh, damn. Sankofa, hold on. Let me check. Make sure you guys like this stream as y'all come in.
All right, Gary, I'm back. All
right, good. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you guys hit the like button and share the stream. You may continue.
Okay. All right, so we're dealing with judges, right? This is how you get a judge to basically get off their oath of office, right? Because number one, if you look up the statute and code 28 USC 455, that means a judge has to recuse himself because it's called a conflict of interest. So this is why I'm saying that if you're going to attack the judge, because the judge is going to be asking questions, how you expect to pay child support and all this other stuff. Oh, well, I got to ask some questions. Are you a judge? Yes, I am. Okay, so are you a judge under 45 CFR 75.2? Or are you a judge under the common law of the Constitution? Now, they know on penalty of perjury they cannot do that. They cannot lie on the penalty of perjury. Everything is being recorded, right? Okay, so say, for instance, the judge does lie, and he feel like, oh, this guy does not know what he's talking about, so I'm going to say, yeah, I'm a judge, okay? So we're going to go, okay, who pays your salary and wages? Well, the state does. Okay, so is child support a state issue or a federal issue? Now, that's where you got the judge, because even me just asking that question, it kind of stunned me. and I know this stuff by heart, right? So I'm pretty sure the people that's living in the audience, it has stunned you as well. If you ask a judge that says he's de facto, or he is a judge under 45 CFR 75.20, excuse me, if he's a contractor, under penalty of perjury, he cannot lie, because that would affect his bond, okay? Every judge has a bond, $300,000 to $1 million. You can actually sue for that. So if this judge says, yeah, I'm a judge, I'm here to hear the case or whatever, okay, judge, so if the child support agency is paying your salary and wages, how do I have due process? Now, a lot of people don't understand what due process is. Due process is basically fairness. It's basically fairness, okay? It's Article 4. It's the 14th Amendment, Section 1. I repeat, the 14th Amendment, Section 1. That's called due process, procedural due process. A court cannot proceed without procedural due process, okay? So how do I have due process when you're actually working for the Title 4D agency? And also the Title 4D lawyer or prosecutor, y'all working in cahoots with each other. So how do I have Title 4D process? What if I can't pay? You know what I'm saying? You're going to force me to pay anyway? And if I don't pay, you're going to send me to jail or have a KPS warrant out for my arrest? Let me tell you something, people that's listening to me right now, that's talking all over YouTube land or radio land, we're on iHeart or whatever. They cannot have a warrant out for your arrest for child support. Because, number one, a warrant has to be signed by a judge. Anything that's under a rubber stamp is not a valid warrant. And Sarge will tell you that, too. And I know Sarge not going to lie. Sarge is not going to lie. I know Sarge listening. He's like, man, this motherfucker. You know how Sarge is. But Sarge, tell the truth. Anything that's a rubber stamp cannot be a warrant out for your arrest. A lot of Title 4D warrants. Got it? Good? Okay.
Repeat that again.
Okay, so anything that's rubber stamp, a rubber stamp is where they just have the judges is like, okay, so they'll have the court, the county clerk stamping their name, and also the stamp with the judge's name. That's called a rubber stamp. Anything that's rubber stamp is a void warrant. Okay, so when child support says they have a warrant for your arrest, it's not real. If the constables come and you're saying we got a warrant for your arrest, ask to see it. Hey, let me see that warrant. If that warrant does not have a signature from a judge, it's not a valid warrant. Okay, it has a stamp on it. Okay, Title 4D. Only way Title 4D can have a warrant out for your arrest if there's a corpus delicti. And a lot of people don't know that's Latin for a body. Because if all courts are based under the Constitution, which is common law, they cannot have a valid warrant for a fiction. Title 4D is considered a fiction. A traffic warrant, traffic tickets are considered fiction. These are fictional people. These are people operating under a job, okay? They have a job to do, okay? There is no real injured party. So if the Constitution is based off of common law, then why is everything being tried under admiralty maritime tribunals? Child support court is not a part of the court system. Traffic tickets are part of an Article 5 tribunal. They're not real, okay? I never paid a traffic ticket. I always got my shit dismissed. And if you want to learn how to do that, bang my email, kemetnu1984@gmail.com, okay? That's KEMETNU1984@gmail.com. If y'all didn't catch that, get it from my boy Gary. Gary is a great host. I appreciate that, Gary. All right, so let's get into it. Let's prove some points, okay? I know I went on a whole rant and whatever. Okay, so we're at the child support manual, page 22. I'm going to read y'all something from their own shit. See, this is the thing. When I was basically dealing with my child support case in Texarkana, the lady was saying that I was wrong. I said, oh, really? I'm wrong. Okay, so me reading your stuff to you is wrong. she got quiet. So let's read what the child support manual said. We're on page 22 of the Federal Office of Child Support Manual and Procedures or whatever, because I know everybody's court is different. State is different, okay? Let's read. The federal regulations also contain additional requirements related to the expedited process proceedings conducted pursuant to either the expedited judicial process, which we know that's a lie, the expedited process, administrative process, because child support is administrative, must be presided over an individual who is not a judge of the courts. So we're going to stop right there. Why is the child support manual, page 22, saying this? Why do they say that if we got the expedited process or the expedited judicial process, that the court, that it must be presided, it must be presided over an individual who is not a judge of the court. So how the hell can you have a court-ordered child support? Who orders child support? I asked my former employer, okay, so y'all going to try to garnish my wages, right? I said, before y'all garnish my wages, let me know who the judge is. I said, I was on the phone with them. I said, look, let me know who the judge is that's saying that it's a court-ordered child support. They cannot come back and say who the judge was. You know why? Because there's no such thing as a court-ordered child support. Because judges only make orders, right? But I'm reading from the Federal Manual of Child Support. You know, so you got the glossary terms of child support, all this other shit. So page 22 states that the proceedings, the administrative process, must be presided. And I'm reading it slowly because whoever is in the audience, whoever she was that talked shit about me last time I was doing this shit, I'm reading it slowly. She's talking about I'm a fast talker. Okay, yeah, I am a fast talker, but I'm going to slow it down for you, okay? Presided over an individual who is not a who is not a judge of the court, okay? That's page 22. Let's go even deeper. Order established by the expedited process must have the same force and effect under state law as ordered, established by a full judicial process. So if they're going to follow any judicial process, what's the part of the judicial process? They must follow due process of law. Okay, they must have equal protection. They must, when it comes to due process, and Sarge is very well versed in this. Sarge, I love you. You my grandfather, but you can explain due process way better than me. But I'm going to give my brief synopsis of what due process is. Due process is saying, look, let's investigate. Let's find out, is this person guilty or innocent? That's basically what due process is. Okay, so we already know, and I explained it early, child support is not a part of the court system. Okay, so let's keep reading. Although either processes may be provided that a judge first ratify the order. How can a judge ratify anything when they said no judge can be a part of the process or they cannot be presided, okay? With these board of limitations, each state is free to design an expedited process that is being suited to the administrative needs and legal traditions. It is viewed that the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement, which is called the OCSC, that the Title 4D attorneys not represent individual parties. Wait a minute. So who has been, anybody that's listening to this right now, anybody that's listening to this YouTube live stream right now, when y'all went to child support, when y'all saw the Title 4D, did you make it? Okay. So when y'all saw the Title 4D entity or whatever, your baby mama, where was she sitting and who was right beside her, a Title 4D liaison? I don't call them attorneys. They might call themselves attorneys or whatever, but I've never heard on that. They're not really attorneys because there's no such thing as court or the child support. Okay, let's keep reading. The Title 40 attorney established an enforcement of order of paternity and support because they know that signing a birth certificate does not establish an order, okay? You're only ordered to pay child support if you're actually that person, that offspring's father. Let's talk about 1993. In 1993, the Office of Child Support Enforcement delivering program services. This is a memorandum examined the role of Title 40 attorneys via vista of the public that they serve. It is provided that the appendix of the state special information and examples how the state were to address and represent the OCSC, which is the Office of Child Support Enforcement, which is the opinion. It didn't say shall or this must be done. It's the opinion of the OCSC, okay? So that the Title 40 attorney representing the state. Wait a minute. If the Title 40 represents the state, why do they say that they don't represent the individual families or the custodial parent? Wow, it represents the state interest and consistent with the long line of cases. Child support does not benefit children or the custodial parent. It only benefits the state. Okay? Y'all can, if y'all don't believe me, look up Winhut versus Ledbetter, look up Blessing versus Freestone, and look up Mason versus Bradley. They will tell you, and also you can look up Part A of the Tenant Block Grant Program. It will talk about the grants and states. You read that whole section, grants and state. I think it's section 405. Read that whole thing, and you will understand. People that's on child support, mothers that might disagree with me on this shit, read what you're following, okay? Read what you're indulging in. Let me see. Gary, how much time do I have?
Say it again. Go. Say it again. Say it again.
I was asking how much time do I have before we have the Q&A section?
Try to go as far as possible. I will open this up now. And hold on. Since you asked a Q&A,
do we have any questions? Look, Gary, we can open up the Q&A right now.
Let me see. Let me give y'all the call number. And I should do that.
But let's do a brief commercial real quick. Do a brief commercial.
Well, we don't have commercials, but as you know,
I gotta use the restroom. I'm sorry, brother.
Relax. I got you. The call number for tonight's show is 717-908-1834. Access code 917-324#. I repeat, dial number for tonight's show is 717-908-1834. Access code 917-324#. Tonight's subject, Chaos Reign presents, is Title 4D a scam with Sankofa? Now, as y'all have questions, rather in chat room or Viva call line, bring your questions to things you understand or don't understand. The lines are open, so you may continue Sankofa as people eventually has a question.
Right. Can I be heard?
Yes, you can be here. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like he said, if anybody have any questions on the case, because I know my boy, I don't know if it was All Facts that kind of like pointed it out that I'm not teaching everything, but All Facts agreed with me though. Like, I don't know if it was All Facts last time I did this show, but let's go any deeper. As early as 1978, the Oregon Court of Appeals concluded that there was no attorney-client privileges created under the statute, required the support enforcement division of the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice actually against child support, and I'm going to prove that too. Represents the child caretaker or parent or dependent of the persons receiving the public assistance. Okay, so what that means is a lot of people A lot of people get on Title 4D. Now let's go and establish right now. Your baby mother does not put you on child support. When your baby mother goes for assistance like TANF, food stamps, Medicaid, they go after the father or the non-custodial parent for the loan. This is like me that's like me getting a Scat Pack and they're going after Gary for loan. Like, Gary could be my brother, but they still going after Gary for loan. So tell me, how does that make sense? So how can you pay a loan? So how can you pay a loan that you didn't create? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
one question. I do have a question. You're familiar with the student loan? When they now, I think they're putting a law back now 12 years ago, I believe, back in 2010, if my memory sees me, how you cannot no longer default on student loan debt. You're aware of this? I know it's off the topic.
Not necessarily, because any debt, all your debts are prepaid. So, and I'm gonna give everybody the secret on how to kill all your debt student loans. It's really simple. It's a 1099-C, because you gave me your Social Security number, right?
Yeah, everybody got a Social Security number. Everybody got a Social Security number.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about did they have the Social Security and account number that you gave to them, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so everything is all prepaid. They just want you to they want you to pay a debt with a debt. So tell me, how do you pay a debt with a debt?
You don't.
Exactly. So when you look at the top of your dollar bill, and I got to give a shout out to my brother Amon Osiris, and I got to give a shout out to my brother, I forgot his name, but he asked the judge, how can I pay a debt with a debt? And the judge got quiet. That was the longest 2 minutes I have ever heard. How can I pay Title 4D with a debt note when I'm supposed to so-called be in debt? And the judge got quiet for a whole minute. He had to switch the topic. But if y'all want to pay off your debts, order yourselves a pack of 1099-Cs. They're free. Get you some 1099-Cs and fill it out. If you're having trouble filling it out, I'm going to repeat my email address. It's KEMETNU1984@gmail.com. If you didn't catch that, hit Gary in the back channel. He will give you my email address, and I will show you exactly how to pay off all your loans and stuff like that. I don't have any debt, and I can show you how to be debt-free as well without having to pay money or going to a tax specialist or debt specialist. That's a bunch of bullshit. All you need is a 1099-C. They're not going to tell you, hey, get a 1099-C. They want to make money off of you. Because what they're going to do is do a 1099-C too. That's it. They're going to do the same shit to eradicate your debt.
Okay.
You can do the shit yourself. You don't need a debt consultant or nothing like that. You don't know. Oh, I guess. Hey, Gary, do me a favor. Open up the Q&A real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Let me do that. And we're not going to stay on long because I'm only going to do this for like another 25 minutes, maybe at best, if no one has questions. And we keep it short and simple. Is that cool?
Perfect, man. That's perfect for me, man.
Okay, all right. All right.
I got some, go ahead. Do the Q&A right now.
Okay, let me see. Line's open. And another thing I do want to ask, because you have gone through this personally, right? What is the greatest? Yeah. What was the greatest fear you face when you yourself was, I guess, put on child support for, I'm not sure how long you've been put on until you neutralize it? What was your greatest fear?
Before I got into the knowledge, my greatest fear was, if I don't pay this, I'm going to jail. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, I never contracted with Title 4D. I never signed papers. I never went to court. They just started doing some coercive wage garnishment. Coercive is forced wage garnishment, and they cannot force you You know what I'm saying? According to the First Amendment, they can't force you into any contract. I never contracted with them, but before I got into this knowledge, they was taking money from my check, and I was like, okay, as long as they're taking money from my check, I ain't got to worry about going to jail. Until I came into the knowledge. Yeah.
But aren't you concerned when they take money in your check-ins? You know how much they take? What was the percentage? I don't know, back then to now, what's like 15, 17% of your check they garnish?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it depends on your income. Like, I was making $17 an hour at the time. I'm making $24. But when I was making $17 at the time, they was taking like 17%. So it was like $400 a pay period. Yeah. They're not supposed to take, child support is not supposed to take no more than 35%.
Has it ever exceeded taking more than that for any woman or man in the United States in all 50 states? Because each 50 states is different when in regards to how much they're garnishing in child support. Am I right?
I'm pretty sure it has, but me as a person, I got tired of being like, oh, I can't pay my bills, so I started studying. But I'm sure that they can increase. That's why they have these support orders, like to increase or decrease. But they never decrease, because if they decrease, they don't get paid.
But I've noticed a few celebrities, and I think it was Jesse Williams and Halle Berry, and I was throwing a number of celebrity names personally for the sake of this conversation, that they have successfully got it to reduce because they were going through, I guess, financial strangleholds in their life through their careers or their jobs, because they were not getting much work and not getting much pay, and they're paid that to still keep paying that monthly bill. So
you said Halle Berry's on child support, or you saying
no? They were able to get it reduced. Like wherever they're paying, they were able to negotiate with their judge to reduce child support. But for the sake of the conversation, you tell people that there's ways to get out of it. In other ways, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's only if you allow them to take you into court. Now, I will show everybody a little secret. If you don't show up to child support, they cannot enforce any orders because according to their manuals, the Federal Manuals of Child Support Enforcement Agency, both parties have to be in agreement. You can look this up yourself. I know this is a talk show. We basically upload a lot of video, slideshows or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like I said, you can learn a lot. Because I have a weapons of law packet that defends lawful people that's actually taking care of their children against Title 4D. I don't charge for this information, but however, I recommend y'all donate to Tyrone Thompson for allowing me to come on here, and y'all can donate to me. I'm not charging. Tyrone might be charging. I don't know. Tyrone, my boy. But please donate to the T.R.S. family. But when it comes to me, I take donations. If you want my help, I take donations. However, you got to understand, am I going to a court hearing or am I going to a banker's court? You got to understand, any time that you go to court and they want money from you, it's a banker's court. It's called a court of equity, okay? Look up equity. When you look up equity, you'll understand that these courts, these traffic courts, child support courts, or whatever, DWI courts, they want you to pay a fee. It's all monetary. You noticed that they say, well, the state of Texas or the state of Indiana or the state of New York, state of Connecticut versus you? Okay, so who is the state? Is a state a person, place, or thing? Because according to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 11, all courts are open to any man with injury. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the state of Texas Constitution. But you can look up the Constitution and look up the court's jurisdiction. I repeat, look up the Constitution, the court's jurisdiction. It will tell you clearly that all courts are open to any man with injury. The state is not a man. Okay? So until you realize that and know how to enforce that, like, hey, I have a right to face my accuser. That's according to the Sixth Amendment. Yeah. I have a right to face my accuser. Who is the state? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you, I understand a lot of people like this is kind of fearful information, because once you're conditioned to believe in something, or once you're conditioned to believe something is right or wrong or whatever, it will make it hard for you to comprehend any new information. And, you know, even when Tyrone was trying to teach about religion, and I commend Tyrone for that, it's scary to people. That's why we got a Q&A section. But like I said, I can give you all the information. But like I said, I don't want to do it all on here. Like I said, you hit me in the back channel, I can go in depth, because I don't know everybody's situation. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, Gary, for bringing me on. You know what I'm saying, to teach this type of this technique. But I want people to know, hey, you have a right to be free and independent. Thomas Jefferson said that, and this is in the preamble of the Constitution. Every man is free and independent without any legal constraints of the government. Only way the government can get any power is through the consent of the governed. Look that up. Look that quote up. So if the person that signed the Constitution says that the only way the government can get any consent from the governed is through can gain any power over the governed is through the consent of the governed. That should tell you something. They work for you. The government works for us. But as you can see, that the government can be tyrannical, and basically put you under a thumb saying that, look, I'm above you, these judges. You can sue that motherfucking ass too, because guess what? The federal government is waiting on us to come into the courtrooms with complaints. Okay, they get off on firing these lower court judges, these justice of the peace judges. They're getting off on that. If you don't take this shit to federal court, nothing will get done. We're going to constantly get oppressed. We're going to constantly get our rights violated. That's why you have a federal and Supreme Court, because they go by the Constitution. These administrative courts, they're not really judges. They're called magistrates. They're not even magistrates. They're called administrative officers, if you want to take it that route. Go ahead, Gary.
Excellent. Also, because there's certain branch in the government, certain special branches are the ones that's supposed to uphold this wonderful document we call the Constitution, correct? And to also enforce it, correct?
Yeah, they're supposed to enforce it. They're supposed to uphold and defend the Constitution, because they're, like I said, everything, the Constitution is founded on common law. But in order for these so-called lower court judges or whatever, they want to make money, right? So they know they can make money through the ignorance. See, look, I'm going to tell you this, Gary. Gary, this is what they're relying on us. They're relying on our ignorance of law, ignorance of our rights, in order to oppress us. When you go in there with knowing your rights, hey, who do you work for? Who pays your salaries and wages? Who pays that? Who pays your salary and wages? Oh, well, I work for the state. Okay, so is the state the injured party, as stated on this document? Well, the other state. I said, okay, so do I have a right under the Sixth Amendment to enforce to the right to cross-examine my accuser? Well, yeah. So, okay, so bring the state of Texas in, or bring the state of Louisiana in, or bring the state of Connecticut in, or bring the state of North Carolina in. If y'all telling me that I have a right to face my accuser, then bring that person in. Because if you're going by the Constitution, on the Article 3 court, it said everything is constitutional bound. You cannot overstep the boundaries of the Constitution, basically. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many words. Like I said, I have the document for that. All right. Tell me why people are just paying traffic. This is why they can't say. This is why they say you can't have a trial by jury, because there is no crime. Okay, if they refuse your trial by jury, that means there is no fucking crime. They want you to go to their county clerk, pay the $345 whatever dollars of your traffic ticket for speeding or running a red light, blah blah blah. This is why. They relying on your ignorance in order to make money. In San Antonio, Texas, they got this, they got like the little traffic lights where they like write you a ticket or whatever. My brother showed something to me that I didn't even know they existed. He said by law you don't have to pay it. I said, what are you talking about? He said, bro, by law you don't have to pay that ticket because it's unconstitutional for them to if you run a red light and know there's no injured party, they cannot do anything to you. So I looked it up. I said, let me see what you're talking about. I looked it up, and there, lo and behold, you don't have to pay a traffic ticket if you run a red light in San Antonio, because everything is like camera or whatever. There's no lawful anything. You don't have to have a driver's license to travel in the state of Texas or any state of the union. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is not called a state; it's called a republic. Because when you pledge allegiance to the flag, does it say to the state or does it say to the republic?
All right, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic, and to the republic, and to the republic in which we stand, one nation under God. And I forgot the rest of it.
So where is the state presented in the Constitution? Or to the preamble of the Pledge of Allegiance? None. Okay, so when they say, oh, it's the state of Texas or state of whatever versus you, wait a minute. I thought we was on the republic, not under the state. So I would like for somebody to come over here and prove me wrong. So, Gary, do we have anybody in the queue that wants to prove me wrong?
Nope.
You don't have nobody?
Nope. And do I have any further questions? Well, I guess
go ahead, Gary.
My last question. With this information now, has any person wrote a book on the focus of Title 4 deed and the truth and the things that they don't talk about? Can someone purchase a book and read this?
Well, it's called a book called. Yeah, there is a book. You can go on Amazon. It's called Game Over Child Support. So if y'all want to read that book, it's a good friend of mine. He wrote the book. I didn't even think of mention him. I'm glad you brought it up. It's called a book called Game Over Child Support. So go on Amazon and type in that. So it'll help you out with child support.
Is it a physical or PDF? Do you have that book per se?
It's a physical copy. I think he does a physical copy. I don't have a PDF.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Excellent. Well, I think that's all. Wait, let me refresh and see if anybody wrote any in the chat room.
And we ain't got no Q&A. We ain't got nobody in Q&A.
Well, you know what I will do, and this will be very soon. If you're listening, Sankofa, and this is going to be something for people to know. Listen the first time. I might be simulcasting this on Clubhouse very soon.
So what?
On Clubhouse. I might simulcast what I'm doing here on Clubhouse as well.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, you don't want to know what that is. It's like another beast. Yeah. So like I said, this is good. I appreciate this information, Sankofa. I'm not sure.
No problem, brother.
I'm not sure we cover everything so far. We gone through the child support.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot to learn, man.
And we just gone through Title 4D. So I'm not sure what's next in store. Now, mind you, for those that don't know, we could deal with the God and atheist thing, but I don't know if I want to touch that again. To be honest with you, bro. It's a fickle subject. Unless you're really, I mean, you know what we can do? We'll talk, and we might do one broadcast of that. You get me? Just for the sake of it, just for the F of things. You get me? Just, let people know about this thing about their worship, this false idols and false gods. You know what I'm saying? So I was giving y'all heads up now. That'll probably be maybe the next stream with Sankofa. So,
next feature, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be so. Be on the lookout for that, guys. But I think that's all she wrote. And let me see, Greg, and then that's listening in the back. I guess that guy's got enough of that question. That's cool. So, any closing remarks, Sankofa?
Oh no, man! I just want to tell people when you believe in things that you can't understand, you become superstitious. That's why a lot of people are scared of these laws. They feel like they got a traffic ticket. Oh, let me go here. Let me hurry up and pay it, or I'm going to jail. All the scare tactics. And it ties into the belief system that we have been inculcated to believe in. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, if you believe in anything outside of yourself, you will never be able to believe in yourself. And that's all I have to say.
Well said, well said. All right, thank you again, Sankofa, for coming by for another broadcast here on the Chaos Reign channel on the T.R.S. side of things. Look forward to having another discussion with you again. Take care, brother. Yeah.
You too.
All right. And for everybody who's listening, this was a short one, but you know how always, I normally do these streams so lengthy, as y'all know. But it is what it is, you know. And one thing is for sure, check the replays on the Chaos Reign channel, per se. I have a plethora of a catalog of episodes, some good, some bad, some okay. But nonetheless, you would not know if you check the channel out personally. Trust me, you will not forget. But like always, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to today's stream. To follow me on Twitter at ChaosReign7. Add me on as a friend on Facebook, Eric Ray on Facebook, and join Discord. All those information is on the About section on Chaos Reign YouTube channel. And those are the links to follow me. Thank you for listening to today's stream. Until next time, take care and good night.